Good evening, guys. We're talking about agent selection this evening, standing out and choosing the best agent to represent you and your property. Out of 580 agents on the Northern Beaches, how do you go about that process? We're going to tell you more this evening. Stay tuned. Good evening, Mr. Sims.
Good evening, Mr. Drury. How are you?
Very good. Yourself?
Good.
How does it feel to be a part of the exclusive club? One out of 580 real estate agents on the Northern Beaches.
It's quite weird to think about, actually. I wasn't aware how many agents there were on the Northern Beaches.
Yeah.
And it's made me realise how competitive this area in Sydney really is.
Yeah, there's a lot of choice, which I think is a good thing for consumers. Like, more choice means more competition, which is healthy, and ultimately better service.
Yeah.
Or what you'd hope so. But certainly overwhelming when you think of who do I turn to as my property partner, who do I turn to for sort of that professional help, guidance. And it's not just about buying and selling we're talking about tonight, but we're talking about standing out from the crowd. And I guess there's two very distinct markets. Agents are trying to help and market themselves to buyers and sellers.
Yeah, that's right. And there's almost a method, like a way to try best stand out to both sides of the industry.
Yeah.
And there's so many different ways now with modern technology and social media that agents use to stand out.
Yeah.
And it's just about how you use it effectively and which ones you're good at, which ones you want to really use and make benefits out of.
Yeah, so we're going to talk to you a little bit this evening about what we use in our business to try and stand out on behalf of property owners that appoint us for the sale of their property. What works in communicating to the local area when getting people's properties out there, and not just the conventional realestate.com or domain portals, some of the other things we use. But at the end of the day, it's all about all about service just to the general market. And if you can, the more people you help, the more people you can connect with properties. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, that's right. So I think it's good to start with owners and people looking to sell. And as Billy said, there's the traditional ways of marketing a property, realestate.com and domain, such strong sources of obtaining buyers and getting your property seen. But in today's age, I think one of the biggest things, especially at Novak, is social media. And it all starts when we get together as a sales team and go through the property.
Yeah.
And we have what we like to call 10 agents that work for you.
Yep.
And it's all about how we each, as a sales team, 10 agents, come through the property and we take videos, we take photos, and we post those photos on our individual social media accounts to reach out to our followers and people that look at our accounts.
Yeah. So number one point of difference is size of the team and how active that team is working together. Because quite typically you find on a sale of a property, you may find one senior agent and potentially a junior that's taking sort of names and numbers. But in this case, we've got 10 agents working for you in the background, still one agent reporting back to you with open home feedback and communication like that. Yeah. But there's a big tribe of local following, not only on the company page, but also the personal pages. So big point of difference. Team of 10, the size of the team. It's like an octopus with many hands out.
Yeah.
Covering different areas.
That's a great metaphor for it. And it really helps because there's not only that single agent that you're dealing with trying to sell your property at the open home. It's those other 9 agents who are at their own respective open homes, talking to buyers and finding what those buyers are looking for. And if those buyers tell them some specific feedback or requirements that match your property, because we've been through all the same properties that we list as Novak.
As a team?
Yeah,
Yep.
we can then refer your property while we're at another open home, which is something so beneficial to you when you do give your business to a team of 10 agents, technically.
Yeah.
And that's just one way where social media can just give you the most out of your business and what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of technology behind the way we are able to market our properties as well, and that creates distinct benefits to homeowners. Speed to market is a big benefit of having those resources at your hands with social media and sort of the latest communication methods out to buyers. It's really snappy, it's really quick. It means if owners come to us and say we want to be in front of as many eyeballs at one time, or we need to get things going quite quickly, we're able to do that for them. So we've cut down the industry standard times on getting your property live, or even just the whole process. I would say by about half, by about 50%.
Yeah.
In terms of average turnaround times on general activities.
Exactly, and that comes down to the agent, the individual agent as well, where I'd now like to dive into how you can stand out individually as an agent. So there's standing out, as a team of 10 from Novak, for example, but standing out individually as an agent to an owner can be quite difficult depending on who you are in your entire situation in your life.
Yeah.
Something that we had a quick chat about today is experience. Now you're looking at selling your property, you're looking at an experienced agent, someone in their 50s, 60s with 20, 30 years experience.
Yeah.
Against an agent who is in their 20s or early 30s with a lot less time in the industry. I think we've identified some ways for both sides to push themselves and stand out as the agent.
They work sort of cohesively, and it's nice with our team. You get the best of both worlds. You're getting agents that have seen the different property cycles and have the experience to guide owners through those conversations of whether now is the right time to release the property or not. But you've also got the up and coming agents who are really sort of paving the way for a new basically a new system of processes. Communicating to buyers. Buyers really love that because they find it a lot more relatable. And so that's having a really good benefit on both sides.
Yeah, and a lot of the time you find young agents are kind of torn when they're against more experienced agents, and they think, well, how can I get one step forward against such experienced agents in the area?
Yeah.
And I think a great example that we've come across today is hunger. So as a young agent, you really want to have everything. You want every single sale that you go for. And it's that hunger mixed with time that you have as a young agent. You don't have as many commitments in your life compared to that experienced agent who does have that talent but may not have as much drive as the younger agent. With an agent with 20, 30 years experience, they've got so much talent, so much knowledge that they can give you. But, they're also trying to manage a family. They're also, they have those commitments outside of work that the younger agent doesn't have.
Yeah, they become distractions against the campaign. Then you can't afford to sometimes have those distractions. You need someone who's got no attention away from the campaign and can just give yourself 100% service. And if you're picking up the phone and you're not able to reach your agent, just imagine what your buyers are feeling when they're leaving an inquiry. If they're slow to service, it can be impactful on price. So something to be really considerate of. And I do think that comes with good support and a good team. The size, is important because it does mean we're able to service buyers and sellers like no one else.
But at the same time, if depending on what you're looking for as an owner to sell, you may want that experience that older agent has.
Yeah.
So it all depends on what your wants and needs are, because at the end of the day, that young agent might not have all of the knowledge, all of the experience, all of the like hardship that the older agent's been through, which can also then affect what sale price you get and your entire campaign.
Yeah,
because they've been through situations like yours before and dealt with particular buyers before. So it's entirely up to the owner which way they want to take it based on their situation.
Yeah,
which is sometimes difficult for agents to identify, because at the end of the day, it's always what the owner wants, which isn't something to take to heart as young agents like ourselves. But it's always good. It's always good to at least know what you want, and if the younger agent isn't the right person, then and that more experienced agent is what you're looking for, then that's
we got the partnership.
Yeah.
But if I was an owner or a buyer, trying to sort of work out who I was looking to take advice from, I would measure that in two different ways. One, go check out some open homes and meet people face to face, because it doesn't matter what all the analytics and all the numbers say online. You can't really, beat the feeling of gelling with someone. It's a little bit like, I think a good agent is like your favorite school teacher.
Okay.
Some of them you really just gelled with, and others you just never got along with, and you'll find the same with agents. You just build a bit of relationships with, if you're selling. And then second thing, the results are all online, so it doesn't matter the way you cut it up. Like at the end of the day, all the results are public, and so that data is really hard to misrepresent. Go onto realestate.com or the other portals, biggest in your area, and just have a look at who's performing that market exposure.
Yeah, I think the relationship that you build in an open home as a buyer to an agent, is really important, because when you're talking to an agent and you're talking to a buyer, that relativity will always come, and the chemistry between you two will come based on who you are as people. Because if you take away the suit and take away where you are, you're talking to another human being. And for example, as an agent, if you're just who you are, and that's what you project, you're going to find buyers that you relate to. Buyers are going to find you as an agent someone that they relate to.
Yeah.
And that's where the relationship really grows. And as an agent, that's the best thing you can have. And as a buyer, it's the best thing you can have, because it builds trust, it builds honesty, and it builds a connection where you both want the best for each other.
Well said, Tommy. I think that's pretty much it. That's all we've got to say. Realestate.com, domain, open homes, get out there, have a look for yourself, get chatting to people, take recommendations from people that are really active in the scene. And if you need any help, we're here.
That's it.
Cool.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Take care.